So I just got the achievement to fear 6 enemies with HuoHuo, and if you look over to the right there, you'll see that this is a summoned HuoHuo, and I actually don't own one. So how did we do this? Well, let's break it down. First and foremost, this will require a Jingliu. It can be done without a Fushuan, but also having her will make this glitch much easier to perform. In order to do this, let's first look at some tech that I call the Leash break glitch tech. Enemies in Honkai Star Rail will chase you whenever aggro. However, there is a set leash distance after which they will reset and quickly run back to their starting position. This glitch allows you to break this leash and lets you kite enemies as far as you want. So this glitch is triggered by freezing an enemy at their leash threshold and then hiding out of line of sight to lose aggro. You'll see here that after an enemy is unfrozen, they'll have a question mark timer above their head, and once it depletes, they'll start walking very slowly back to the starting point instead of running rapidly like in the first example. At this point, their leash threshold has now been reset, allowing you to re-aggro them and pull them once again. You'll need to simply periodically freeze them, hide, and then re-aggro to reset the leash threshold. Once you do this over and over, you can pull an enemy as far as you want. And so it's through using this leash tech glitch that we're able to pull 6 enemies that we need over to a stagnant shadow in order to use a summoned HuoHuo to get this achievement. Alright, so now let's go over how we actually pull this off. The location that we want to do this will be in the Great Mine, over at the stagnant shadow here in the middle. So right next to this shadow will be a pack of 3 miners, and then up the top of the hill here there will be another 2 for a total of 5 enemies. Once you include the stagnant shadow itself, that's a total of 6 enemies. In my video, I actually run up to the top here and pull an extra robot just to make sure that I have enough, but it should work fine without it. Also, before you attempt this, I would also recommend that you craft a whole lot of trick snacks. They're really cheap to craft, so you can get a few hundred of them, and you'll be able to use these items to refuel your energy as you spam Fushuan's and Jingliu's techniques. So let's just go over the actual attempt. I'm going to speed through it since it's really nothing new that you haven't already seen from the glitch demo earlier, but here you can see that I've dragged both packs down, and you can see how I would periodically freeze the pack before running away to lose line of sight, and then coming back in to reset the aggro. So this one's a good example, as you'll see here that I actually mess up and pull one enemy too far and he resets his aggro and runs back. So you'll see here how I managed to salvage it by running back and catching him and then pulling him back over to the main pack again. Now once you're over at the stagnant shadow, you're going to find that you can't interact with the boss if you're in combat. Thankfully, however, freezing the enemies counts as you leaving combat, so just make sure that you top up your shield and your freeze and then talk to the shadow to start summoning with your HuoHuo. Now, one important thing to note here, and it was a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, is that you will not get the achievement if you fear the enemies while they're frozen. The enemies must run away from you in order for you to get the credit. Also important to note is that after you activate the shadow, all enemy aggro will reset. This means that the moment they unfreeze, they're going to beeline it back to the starting location. So it's really important that you have them frozen while you position yourself. Pay close attention to your Jingliu's technique timer and be ready to press HuoHuo's technique right as the enemies unfreeze.